I wanted to talk to you real quick this morning about rage in the end times, anger, craziness, and how do we deal with it, what the triggers are, and how do we deal with it, because I think this is something we're going to increasingly run into. So, good morning. This is Aunt Beth. Welcome to my lamppost. I was talking to my prayer partner this morning, and she was coming back from time spent praying outside of an abortion clinic. And it grieves her heart, and that, but a man after coming out of the clinic, went over and just read them the riot act. He was not kind. And I started to wonder if he was just dealing with a lot of conviction of the Lord and taking it out on them. And then I started thinking, about rage in the end times. We know that as times get more serious, the Lord is going to be convicting people. But how do we respond when the Lord challenges us on our behavior? And I think people will either, you're right, repent and clean up their act, or they're going to get very defensive and angry. Like screaming at me is not going to suddenly vindicate your choice, or I should join you in a bad decision. Anyway. But it's interesting. Let me read to you a commentary from Paul, first to Timothy, who was young but a pastor, or, responsible for a group of people as a shepherd. And then Paul's comment on how we are to behave. Now, what's really interesting is he's talking about Christians. He's not talking about the world. And you think about it, Jesus had the most problem from the religious people, not believers, religious people. So this is really sad. Not all religious people are believers, okay? So, but know this, that in the last days, this is 2 Timothy chapter 3. Paul is talking about religious people, okay? Know this, that in the last days, perilous times will come, for men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. From these people turn away. So he's just saying, come out from that. Don't associate with that. But I thought it was interesting, in the last days, perilous times will come. And I thought, what does that perilous mean? So I looked it up in my Strong's, and it says difficult, dangerous, furious, fierce. Hard to deal with. Was only used once, but was also said of the Gadarene devils. The men or the man, depending on, in Matthew 8:28, cast out the devils and they went into the pigs. So, as far as the times that we're living in, difficult, dangerous, furious, fierce, hard to deal with. But Paul gives some counsel on 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 14 through 23. It's basically keeping your attitude clean, not getting entangled with it. Rejoice, pray without ceasing, give thanks, test everything, hold fast to what is good, abstain from every form of evil. It's interesting because it says the God of peace will sanctify you. So peace is a superpower in times of rage. But I think it's time to self-quarantine from furious people, people that are always angry. That kind of rage is kind of like bad perfume, or a tea stain. It's just going to affect you. It's going to flavor your life in a way I don't think you want. I know I don't. So, rage in the end times. Peace is a superpower. Something to think about. I hope you have a fabulous day. All God's best.